A couple of times over the last year, I've talked about my habits of exercise and how they cause me to reflect on my practices of faith and spirituality. The things that are good for me, the things that I resist, the ways that I need to push myself, what happens when I fall out of habit. And on one of my walks this summer, I had this epiphany. And as I say it and think about saying it, it sounds very basic, and you're gonna be like, wow, how did that not occur to you? But it just sort of struck me. And it was this. Just different illnesses in the last year and realities have sort of brought my body down to not the levels where I want to. And I know that it's, not just based on not exercising, but there's been illnesses. I'm asthmatic. It's been harder to breathe in different ways. I have different allergies. And I sort of have kept this thought that my body's just going to recover. I'll get over the illness and my lung strength will come back. Or the allergies will I'll take the meds and use my inhalers and it'll just sort of bounce back. And I keep waiting for the bounce back and it's not happening. And the epiphany was, that's because it's not going to unless you work for it. Again, it sounds really elementary, but it just sort of struck me. I knew that I would have to work back for like how much weight I use when I do my weightlifting or how long I can do cardio, but just sort of the lung capacity related to illness, I kind of thought maybe it would just be okay. And then I thought about our faith practices, including mine, but some of those things where our spiritual disciplines, our habits of faith were depreciated or atrophied because of the pandemic or because of life changes or family changes or work changes. And maybe we've been assuming that once we sort of recovered from those things, our spiritual habits would also recover. It would feel easy again. And my push is maybe not unless we work for it. Physical habits, spiritual habits, relationship habits, they have to be habits. They have to be regular practices to make the impact that we want them to. And maybe some things are just once a month or a couple times a year, but those things that we really want to have regularly in our life, the things that we know make the biggest difference, we have to practice them. Now, coming up in September and October, we're going to be doing a worship series on spiritual disciplines. We're going to practice them together. We're going to learn some new ones together. We're going to try some new exercises, some things you may love, some things you may absolutely hate, and all of that's okay, but try it as best as you can in the ways that you can and see if practicing the practices, practicing the disciplines doesn't sort of help you rebound and recover in your spiritual life in maybe the ways that you've been hoping for as the pandemic shifts and we move to a different chapter in our faith lives. Take care, friends.